Now, when we looked at PCOD, it was coming from the parent not accepting the girl child. They didn't want a girl, they wanted a boy. So this child was born, this girl was born, and she was not accepted by the mother. Accepted means on certain level. So this is how, this is the area of our feminine, our womanhood. So when that's not accepted, it's like a blow to us. So somewhere deep down, the psyche, it just says, okay, I'm not wanted. So these lot of problems happen in this area. So we work with the inner child work. We go back when that baby was in the womb and we do the healing. So this is all inner child healing, as in the healing happens on a level when the person was much younger, at a stage where this issue happened. So this is how we do the inner child work. We heal, we talk to that wounded child, and there's a beautiful process in which that younger child, the younger self, is integrated with the adult self, learning the lessons and also releasing the patterns that I am not wanted. Again, that is worked with the use of suggestions. So when we do the inner child work, we're able to understand how this happened. We're able to understand and we're able to let go as well. So there is a process then which is done with the mother on the soul level. So it's on an energy plane this process is done. So these processes are really very interesting and very, very deep and very, very powerful. So releasing the past is again a very important part of the therapy where a lot of people resist. They want to heal, they want to become okay, they want to change their life, but they're not ready to release the past. They do not want to forget what happened with them, they just want to hold it. So we have to convince them that, are you ready to heal it? Are you really ready? So it depends on the willingness to heal, the first factor. So when they realize that, okay, I really don't want to live with this pain anymore, I do want to heal, and they make that, that they just say it and they decide that I am going to fix this thing, I am going to heal it, is then when they are ready to move in. So the subconscious mind actually opens up, but there are parts of us that, do not want to forgive, do not want to heal, do not want to do the next thing. This I'll come back the next session may. So slowly they're like just because they're not used to this. And it takes time. It takes time to let go. It's a slow process. So over sessions, these things are healed and people are able to release the past. Some are not. Then they don't come for a while. They come a few months later saying, okay, I want to do this. Please help me do it. Just do whatever and fix it. So everybody who's going through pain, who's going through these processes, nobody wants to be in that state. We all want to heal. We all want to heal so that we can move into the future. Also, there's a very important thing, that when we hold grudges, we hold pain, we hold anger, we hold grief, we are blocking something. We are holding all the old clutter and stuff inside us, like in our cupboards. Everything is so full, full, full. Where is the space to put new stuff? There is no space. So, hello, can you like clear up everything before we put in the new? Because while the old is there, it's all like the dirt and the muck that's stuck in a pan, and we're putting new, fresh stuff into that pan. Say water into a dirty pan. So the water's got polluted. So if it's a clean pan, we have cleaned it, scrubbed it, shining and new, then we put in the positive. So after all the work of the clearing is done, is when we move into the final part, which is the part of forgiveness and letting go. And that is not really a very easy part. People who have wronged us, people who have hurt us, people who have wounded us, and maybe are still doing that. So it's not easy, but it's a very, very important part. So what is forgiveness? Please read. It's a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. Why should we practice it? Yes, wonderful. Thank you. So that's by letting go of the burden, who feels lighter? Does the person we forgive feel lighter? We ourselves feel lighter. That's wonderful. Let's give her a hand. To free our souls. Yes, absolutely. We're born free, all of us. We're born free. We're not meant to be bound by rules and bound by people and bound by what society says. So when we forgive, we're releasing that energy, the stuck energy that we're holding, and that energy is actually very powerful. So we can use it for something positive, we can use it in a negative way. So if we can channel that into something positive, then what happens? We open up our energy, our aura expands, our energy levels, we start feeling more happy, joyful, vibrant. And more than that, we start attracting all the miracles in the universe. Whatever our wishes and things we want, which were not happening, we were not receiving, our receiving was blocked. So now all that opens up. It's so amazing that when we work on ourselves, how all parts of our lives open up. Stuff like our money is stuck somewhere, it starts coming. A job that we were wanting and trying and it was not happening, that also opens up. So one by one, as we clear, session after session, I can see the changes, I can see the transformation, and it's like, I am so amazed when I see these changes that it's like, it's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. Forgiveness also improves our health, and when we focus on grudges, when we dwell on grudges, our blood pressure and heart rate spike. Actually, when we are upset, suddenly we can feel our breathing, you know, just going so fast, and we feel, something in the chest, we feel pains, we feel a lot of discomfort. The mind gets a little bit, we get a headache also sometimes. So again, if we can be calm, if we can calm ourselves down, if we can be happy, we can be peaceful. So does the body. What are we? We are the body, we are the cells, we are energy. So if we can quieten our minds, quieten ourselves, so everything in our life also comes to a beautiful, like a harmony, like a beautiful musical harmony in rhythm. So the whole idea is to be in rhythm, to be in rhythm with ourselves. So stress is dropped. People who are more forgiving are spared from the negative health effects of stress. That's a very good benefit. So some more slides on forgiveness, because this is one of the most important processes of healing, to forgive and to let go, because if we cannot forgive, we cannot let go. So this is a study that is done on forgiveness. Forgiveness is good for marriages. Spouses who are more forgiving and less vindictive are better at resolving conflicts effectively in their marriages. Forgiveness actually boosts kindness and connectedness. People who feel forgiving don't only feel more positive towards someone who hurt them. So this is one of my favorite slides, and it's an affirmation, which is something I did a lot to heal my own self as I shared my story with you. So we can, just say this to ourselves right now, that I now willingly release all negative beliefs about myself, about my life, and about all other people. And now truly forgive myself for thinking I ever did anything wrong. I am now filled with the love and the power that I am. For this, I am so grateful. And so it is, so it is, so it is. So thank you so much. This is my presentation as a small offering. Yes, please. I would love some questions. There are so many people in the healing.
It's my very favourite quote on forgiveness, which is actually, I think, from the Course in Miracles, but I'm not sure. It is the holiest ground on earth is where an ancient hatred has become a present love.
Wow, that is that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Please. Would anyone like to share your own? Hmm? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So now let's have Pat. I'm very happy to have you, Pat, on board for this. And please, I hand the mic.
Good afternoon. My name's Pat Duckworth. I'm a cognitive hypnotherapist based in London and out near Cambridge. And as a cognitive hypnotherapist, I use clinical hypnotherapy plus positive psychology and neurolinguistic programming. Does everybody know what neurolinguistic programming is? Or so just very briefly, neuro to do with the way the brain works, linguistic is about the verbal and non-verbal way that we communicate, and programming is the model of the brain as a computer, and sometimes the computer gets a little bit faulty. It gets those bugs and viruses in it that we see in our emails from time to time. I wasn't always a cognitive hypnotherapist. I started out as a civil servant working in public service, and then I got to a stage in my life where, well, at 55, I thought, what am I going to do when I grow up? And it seemed like I'd already grown up. And I was drawn into doing work around healing. And I think that's partly because there's a history in my family of nurses and healers, which carries on today into my son, who is also a nurse. But also, I grew up with a mother who was quite the hypochondriac. And my mother was never happier than when she was feeling ill. And in fact, my father threw out one of those medical dictionaries because my mother was working her way through it. And I don't know what she would have been like with the internet. It would have been a nightmare. And she lived till she was 84. So I think she actually had a very strong constitution, but really interesting what her mind was doing to her body. You know, that I'm not saying she didn't get ill, because she did. She had a hysterectomy, she had cancer, she had angina, and she really did have all of those things. But I could see a really powerful connection between her mind and her body, and I often wish that I could put her into therapy to heal some of that, which would also have healed some of the things that I was dealing with as well. I became a cognitive hypnotherapist, and then I started to specialize. And I specialized in helping women with menopause symptoms, so women in midlife. Because for a lot of women, they think that there are no options if you start to feel not so good in your midlife. You can either go for hormone replacement therapy, which is not suitable for everybody and a lot of women don't want, or there's nothing for you. And often if they do go to the doctor and they say, I don't want hormone replacement therapy, but I'm not sleeping well, my moods are shifting, I'm not feeling so confident, what they get offered is antidepressants. And of course, they're not depressed. They're just very naturally going through a stage of life. And we know from research that women who are supported at this stage of life, women who have a positive approach to this stage of life, actually have a better experience of it. And in fact, there was research done